Hello, everyone. This is Gandair here at the Hotkeyit.com Arizona June Open. I am here with Piro, protoss player. I gotta make this guy a cheerful because he's finishing 8th, and I just like this dude's gonna win something because he plays amazing every time I see him play. Like I'm pretty sure that a cheerful card would do it. What do you think about the effects of cheerfuls on people's gameplay?
It really depends on if I could see it, really. Because, like, in the middle of the game, I'm not going to look at it cheerful. I got things to focus on. Just saying.
Okay, so I just got to, like, have you not be busy and, like, whisper you at the beginning of the game with, like, some ASCII art. Cool! I'm going to make a note of that. We're here at a new venue. This is NetLans. It's a little internet gaming place here in Phoenix, Arizona. What do you think about this venue as opposed to Cyberzone, the venue we were at for the last event?
It's definitely a smaller venue. But the biggest advantage it had is that it was closer to food places. So during lunch, we're not scrambling all over the place to try and find some place to go. It was just close enough to walk to. Or, hell, if you wanted to go to the pizza place next door, you can do that. I walked to the subway, and that was close enough for me. The computers are definitely better. Alibi, there were more restrictions because we couldn't save our replays, so that was an issue. That's been discussed so far. And it always bothered me that we couldn't bring our own food and drink here because I brought my water jug and I'm like, I can't even touch it now.
Yeah.
Other than that, I didn't really have any complaints. I probably prefer Cyberzone purely because of space, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I had the same thing. Like, we were gonna stop for food before we came in here, and it was like, wait, can I have my drink in here? Kind of wanted to see if I could bribe the guy with like $2 because I understand it's a revenue thing. He wants to make money off the sales of the snacks, so I can't really blame him for that. Now, out of the people that you played against today, Piro, which one gave you the hardest time?
Gated, bar done. I mean, I knew it was going to be an issue as soon as I went in there. First game, I was actually surprised went to a 20-minute macro game in the PvP, which is amazing in itself. 3 bases is unheard of, let alone 1, or outside of 1. But he eventually flanked me and came out of that. Second game, I just kind of gave up all hope, tried cannon rushing him, and that didn't work out too well.
And protoss versus protoss is like the theme of the day today because, it just seems like everyone I've talked to is like, man, I had to play a PvP, and I've seen so much PvP now that I feel bad to say this, but I'm almost starting to get interested in it just because I like seeing the stalker control. It's really cool. I kind of get sick of seeing stalkers though, but they're a cool unit. And what's your take on PvP? On that subject of just like is it gonna be stalker zealot? I mean, do you think there's any real safe way to transition into a longer game? Like, what are there options on the horizon?
It would probably have to be a change to the warp gate mechanic. The biggest issue, obviously, is the fact that they can circumvent the entire defender's advantage thing. The whole idea of yeah, you might have a bigger army now, but I can continually reinforce faster than you can. Well, we can circumvent that. It's like, boom, still there. Of course, that's always an issue. The way PvP is right now, if you haven't four-gated, then you're probably going into a Colossus War, or hell, the mid-game in itself is a rock, paper, scissors. It's somewhere between Blink Stalkers, Colossus, or Phoenixes. And that's all it really is.
Yeah, it's interesting, like I said, to me, but it's also at the same time I get a little tired of the repetition there. Now, have you gotten a chance to watch any of the big online events recently? DreamHack, the Home Story Cup, Columbus, any of those?
Yeah, I tried watching as much of Home Story as I could. However, the issue was they didn't really hype it up as much as I thought they would. So when I heard about it, it was already day 2. Wow. So I was watching that as much as I could. I woke up in the morning and all of a sudden there was a stream up with 17K viewers. I'm like, I guess I'll watch it. And there it is, Home Story. I watched DreamHack as much as I could, but obviously there were 5 streams, so I had to pretty much follow one player and just kind of go with that. Columbus, I loved Columbus, but again, I had to pick and choose between Tastosis or Day 9 plus DJ Wheat. I'm really liking the fact that there's so much content lately. Just the fact that as soon as I go home, regardless of how bad my day was, I can always just turn on something and bam, there'd be StarCraft.
I totally forgot I was wearing that. But yeah, the multiple streams and things I think is really cool because it actually adds some replay value to events. Columbus, I mean, I attended that in person, but I mean, I could go back and watch the VODs of the casters that I didn't see. And with DreamHack, I mean, I was watching Icy Cup, I was listening to Railcoon and Prodigy, I was watching Total Biscuit, got to listen to Total Biscuit and OGSMC, which was pretty neat. Checked out Day 9 for a little bit. I got to bounce back and forth, kind of find a game with players that I liked. You know, I could match up players, commentators. It was pretty neat. Now, out of you got a favorite out of all the ones you got to see recently?
I love watching White Raw. I mean, who doesn't love watching White Raw? I try incorporating my War Prism play in as much games as I can nowadays, purely because, well, that's just cool. Mm-hmm. Maybe not effective, but it's still fun to do.
Warp prisms are cool. I like the idea that other races than Terran can drop. I think that's new and exciting, and hopefully will catch on a lot. I mean, Zerg figured out they can put Banelings in Overlord. They understand Hydralisks. I'm starting to think, like fungal drops on mineral lines, kind of similar to storm drops, could come into a thing. And I'm thinking, maybe some DT drop warp in harass, or maybe some Colossus drop thing. They're not the same as Reavers though. So it'd be like you'd have to drop on a hill or something like that. What do you think about the use of the warp prism?
The unfortunate thing is it probably won't get used until somebody changes it. It doesn't even have to necessarily be a good change. I mean, look at what happened to the Infestor. It pretty much wasn't being used until they changed it in a patch. Same with the Reaper. Well, pretty much. Well, okay, I take that back. The 5-Rax Reaper is probably the dumbest build ever. What's another example? Well, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but unless you change the unit, probably nobody's going to pay attention to it.
Yeah, that's one thing that's kind of fun to see, is because people seem to get super excited that a unit has changed, so everybody likes to jump in, play it, and really hammer out everything they can do with it. And I think that's actually something that Day 9 tried to promote with his mono battles thing that he does, where you pick a unit, you really try and hammer it out and find out everything you can do with it. And the patches seem to have that same effect, where they draw everyone to the same unit and gets really heavily analyzed. Now, the other question that I've got that I've been asking a lot of people is, if you were a coach and we're going to play in the GSTL, what 5 players would you have on your team?
Like I was telling you earlier, Don Ragu for sure. He's been smashing up GSTL. Hasn't had a lot of individual results, but in Team League, he's just completely smashing everybody. Squirtle, because of his impressive performance in GSTL. I think he alt-killed Slayers, I want to say it was. I can't really recall who actually really does well in GSTLs. I assume guys like Ace, maybe, MMA. MC, unfortunately, does not even do that well in GSTL. Probably just some really, really high-level 1v1. Someone like Nesty would probably work. Just as an ace. Something like that.
I think Nesty would make a great ZVZ sniper, because his Zerg vs. Zerg is impressive. You have any shout-outs, thank yous, anybody you want to say hi to?
Not particularly. Pretty much everybody that I know that is part of the StarCraft community is already here. I probably just want to thank my supervisor for actually getting me a day off to come here, because I was supposed to work, and now I'm here playing StarCraft.
It's awesome that you were able to come out here and play. I saw that post late yesterday. I'm like, yes, he made it! So happy. I'll just copy paste the thank you from the first one, 'cause it's always the same thing. The guys, but they're all already here, yeah. Because that's what seemed to happen. Well, thank you very much for coming out here and playing, and I want to pencil this into an 8-person bracket. These weird 8th place finishes better not become a running gag.